Hey, this is Jeff with Six String Seasons. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a comparison video between the Peavey 6505 1992 original and a 6505 model from somewhere around 2015. It was when they first shifted production from the US to China. Now, I purchased both of these brand new. I've owned this model for over a decade. I don't know exactly how long I've owned this. It hasn't been out as long, so much shorter period of time. They are not wildly different amps. They're more similar than different, but there are differences, probably just due to the design. The output transformer is probably a big part of it. And I thought, why not just do a few comparison clips, let you hear them side by side. Now, a few things to note. The tubes in both of these amps are exactly the same. This came with JJs that were just so dark, really dark. I like JJ tubes. I like them in certain applications more than others. I feel like in my Marshall amps, it really smooths things out. It was just too dark in this amp. So, the power section in both is Ruby 606 GCM STR tubes. The preamp section in V1, there's a Shuguang, I think I pronounced that correctly, Silver Dragon. The middle tubes are JJs, low noise, reliable. That's exactly what you want for those positions that are not tone shaping as much. The phase inverter position is a Sovtek LPS. I put that in every tube amp that I own in the phase inverter slot. I feel like it just, I don't know. It cleans things up. It sounds really refined. It's a great tube. So EQs, however, are not going to be the same. And when I first started making this video, I originally had everything at noon. And I thought that would be, the fair way to compare. But it really doesn't do justice to the amps, in my opinion. Neither one sounds its best that way. So I set up the EQs how each amp sounds the very best, which, ironically and fortunately, makes them pretty similar because there are tonal differences. I'll go more into detail later, but this amp has a bigger low end, and it has more flexible mids, and the highs, I don't know if you could call them sweet or sweeter. I don't know if you'd say that with a 6505 style amp. On this amp, the highs are a little more extreme. They're a little more present. The mid frequency is just, there's a frequency in there that just cannot be dialed out. Even if you back off on the mid control, then it sounds somehow scooped and nasal at the same time. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. And the lows here are not quite as booming as this amp. So the lows here I have set a little bit lower. The resonance is lower. The mids slightly higher on this amp. The highs are very similar. This is a little bit higher. So they're not exactly the same, but they're very similar in how they sound overall anyway. For my signal chain, I'm going through a Gibson Les Paul Standard that has slash 2.0 pickups installed. I know that's more of a lower output pickup than many people probably play through these amps. I'm just not a really big fan of pickups that are geared towards metal. Ceramic magnets I'm not a huge fan of. I like the warmth of the Alnico. So keep that in mind, that what's driving this, and even still, okay, I have the pre-gain at 1.5. I can't go much more than that. It just starts getting just too much, in my opinion. Down here, it's a little bit less saturated on this amp, so this is at 2.5. So the slashes, those are medium output pickups, I would say. That's going into a Horizon Precision Drive with a light boost. So the volume on that is maybe halfway. The drive is set to minimum. That's not on. The attack knob there is set to the second position, so it just tightens it up slightly. I never play my tube amps without some type of overdrive boost on them. And something else to note, I don't do clean channel tones on these amps or really crunch. If I'm playing a clean tone, I'm going to go into probably my Quad Cortex, something Fender style maybe. For crunch sounds, I have a Marshall Silver Jubilee. I also have a Marshall JVM Joe Satriani model, which is just phenomenal for any crunch tones. So I'm not going to be demoing any of those tones. It's only going to be the lead channel here, which I feel like is what most people play these for. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the clips, and then we'll come back and I'll give a few thoughts at the end. Okay, so my thoughts on these amps. If I had to sum it up, I'd say the 1992 original is a little more refined. It's a little smoother maybe. It's a little darker no matter what tubes you have in it. The low end is significantly more, at least in my case. So you have to watch that. The mid-range, that's a big difference. So that mid knob, you can tweak it and it actually makes a difference. If there's a frequency that you don't like going on, you can probably dial it out and make it sound more pleasing. In the older 6505, I was not able to do that. So the highs, I mean, they're exactly what you want them to be. They're not harsh, they're not rolled off. You know, they sound really pleasing, really nice. The power section allows for EL34 tubes, which is different than the older 6505s. It's still a fixed bias amp though. So if you order from a supplier, you'd have to let them know what amp you're putting it in. So hopefully they can pick tubes that are safe for your amp. You don't want to blow anything up, but that is added flexibility. For the clean channels, again, I don't really use them much, but it is better on the 1992 original. It's a little warmer, has a little bit more life to it. I feel like you could make the 1992 original sound pretty similar to the older model here, but the other way around would be more difficult. The biggest difference to me, besides the whole mid-range tweaking, is that this older amp is tighter. It feels tighter. And so you can always throw a boost or an EQ or something on this that can make it tighter. But having said that, this is not loose by any means. It's not like a Mesa rectifier. It's just a little looser than this older model here. Both great amps. You're not going to go wrong with either one. They're the standard for metal and heavy music for a reason, and they have been forever now. So whichever one you can find at a good price, go for it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like guitar content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. Hoping to have another comparison coming up soon. Slash 2.0, 3.0 pickups would be a nice one, so I'm considering doing that. And I also do shorts with cover songs if you're into that kind of thing. And if you have any thoughts, opinions, questions, comments, or if there's anything you want to see in this channel and I can make it happen, I will try my best to do that. Please leave that in the comments section. We'll see you soon.